Yeah, Yitian and I are in FB499. Yeah, ideal situation is now you guys are sitting with us. You can play with the lab. But today we're just gonna show you guys, and I will introduce how you will be able to have hands-on experience with the facility before you start teaching with them. Okay, 12 people. Oh, great. It is a dice game, both joining in. Yeah. Unfortunately, for our CLT modules, we won't have on-site students. So it's good to know Spanish modules and Japanese modules will first, start use them. Maybe. Look at the language lab page. A lot of the existing resources about Sanako are set up there. It's now 2:29. We will wait maybe for a couple of more minutes. It's good to see there's a mix of participants here from ELC and different language streams in MLC. So turn the camera to Yitian for a few minutes. All right. So I think it's 2:31 now, so we're gonna start today's session. So hello everyone, my name is Yao Wu. I'm a Chinese language lecturer, and I also work in Solid, the School of Languages IT team. And today next to me is our new school technician, Yitian.
Hi.
So Yitian just joined us in last December. He will be in charge of the Sanako Lab, provide support for the VR lab and the future language test centers of Seoul. Okay, so I'm gonna start today's presentation using the H5P. So Sanako, as I just asked briefly just now, most of us don't have experience with Sanako. So Sanako is actually a Finnish company that pioneered in language labs since 1961. So it's not a brand new technology. It has been widely used in language classrooms in more than 100 countries. So as you can see below, this is how the Sanako Lab looks like. And I will just turn the camera around quickly. So Yitian and I are now in FB 459. I think most of you know this room. This is the first language, computer lab on campus. And we use this room mostly for training sessions. And the difference is you can tell now is now the partition has been, the boards has been added on the desk for assessment and recording purposes, and 30 the lab has 40 computers, and 30 of them are installed with Sanako. So, and the headset, so students will be able to make use of the lab for learning and assessment purpose. Okay, so Sanako has a lot of products. It has three main products. The first one is hardware based. So as you can tell from the photo here, the top right one is actually HS203 on campus, managed by Department of English. It's a hardware-based lab. There's no computer desktop for students. And the top left one is the study lab in University of Liverpool. It's similar to our one here at the bottom left, installed with the software-based one. But yes, and the Connect, they're now promoting the new Connect solutions, which they will allocate test account with us for the next semester. It will be optimal for online education, so the Chinese language team will be able to test with that. And here you can see the official websites for Sanako with lots of resources. But regardless, what kind of installation solutions we have, for the teacher's client, it's the same. So here is a preview of the teacher's client, and then later Yitian will be able to give a short demo about it. So this is basic information about Sanako and the Sanako Labs in use. So next is why, right? Why we use Sanako? So what can Sanako Lab do? So later in the recommended activities, we will be introduced a lot of things you can do with Sanako. And again, it's the first time the lab is used in Seoul. So I think it will be very useful for you to understand what in essence that Sanako Lab offers. So you will be able to design activities that's fostered for your own teaching. So basically with Sanako, each student is equipped with a headset and recording abilities. So all students in the class can speak simultaneously without distracting each other. And student speaking could only be received by themselves or the teacher or the peers by design. So this is the most different, if you have class in the language lab or in a regular classroom, is students, they can record everything they're gonna speak, and by design, they can choose to make the recording or the simultaneous speaking available to the teacher, to the peers, or only to themselves. So a lot of times when you ask students to respond to you in class, and some of the it's common to know some of the motivated students, they will maybe answer you loudly, and some of them will never respond to you, right? But in this way, all of them will be equipped with the recording devices, and once you put your headset down, what you are talking now will not be received by the peers even sit next to you. So this research shows this could open them up and to encourage more speaking in class. Okay, that's the chat. Okay, I will be talking about that. When can we use? But the short answer is now. Yeah, the lab is ready now. So this first photo is a quick preview of the research. Shows in a language lab, the student individual, they spend more time, in speaking than traditional classrooms. As I said, because students, they are equipped with the headset and the recording devices. And from a pedagogical point of view, I think most of us are familiar with Professor Paul Nation's theory of the 4 strengths. Okay, will be a lot of questions. Great. I will get back to the question after this slide. So according to Paul Nation, there are 4 important types of instruction activities for language classrooms: meaning-focused input and meaning-focused output. So listening and reading, speaking and writing. I think in our regular classroom activities, we do a lot of them anyway, right? We play listening audio and we read, reading passages. We've organized speaking activities, and they can do writing practice. And the last 2 are also very important. I think it's sometimes very hard to organize in classroom settings. So language-focused learning and fluency development. So in Professor Nation's book, there were many examples about what does language-focused learning mean, right? So for example, for listening and speaking, it's important for students to sometimes repeat what they hear, right? So imagine if you're gonna organize this type of activities in class and you play audio, you ask students to repeat. Usually it's only the top motivated students will be able to repeat it, and most of students wouldn't respond. And for fluency development, Paul Nation has this example of timed speaking. Is for a paragraph, students maybe first will only be able to manage speak it within 4 minutes, and then you should encourage them to try to speak it, in 3 minutes or within even 2 minutes to improve their fluency. And I think fluency is a very important rubric indexed in most of our speaking assessment. So with the Sanako Lab, this will be, the latter 2 will be extremely convenient to organize. You just play the listening prompt. All students will have to record their repeating, and you can easily collect the students' recording, and you can select 1 or 2 items to replay for the wider class to receive. And for the fluency, they have recording devices that they can just practice the fluency by themselves. Okay, so let me take a look at the questions. Yeah, the computers were slow, yes. Tomorrow we have tested the reinstallation of the system. It's gonna reinstall the software of all computers in this room. It will be faster, but it's the same as all campus hardware. If it's a student's first time logging in, it's gonna take a while because they need to produce the desktop applications for the new account. So it's important, right? So it's important that like at the beginning of your class, you have some chit chat, allow maybe 5 minutes to allow students to turn on the computer. So once it's turned on, in our test, the operating of Sanako and other softwares are quite acceptable. And where is it? It's in FB 459. Yeah, on the 4th floor of the foundation building. All right. So now I will demo a few activities that Yitian has recorded in advance about how to use Sanako in action. So the first one is called SelfAccess. So students can practice at their own paces first and then submit recordings within a certain period. So here is the video.
Thanks for watching Sanako Guide video today. I'm going to introduce you some functions about how the teacher hands out the recording and collects them. And let's open the tutor player. Choose the template class. And let's find the tutor study player. And we're going to record something. for the students. And we choose the Save File function button on the left, and then name this record file. And then there is a playlist button on the left. Let's open the playlist and add the file which is saved. We find the file, we press open, and send the recording to the students. And the students will receive the recording which is sent. And then let's double click it to open this file. 你好，早上好，谢谢，再见。
So that audio was you can record that instantly with Sanako Player recording in class. And now Yitian gonna demo how students can use the insert function to mimic what they hear and try to enhance their pronunciation.
你好。And the students could use this insert function. 早上好。Practice correct their pronunciation. 谢谢. So the students can complete their question and answer assignments on the switch of playing and recording functions. And we press the Save File button again to save our recording. And the students could also review the recording which is saved. 你好，你好，早上好，早上好，谢谢，谢谢，再见，再见。And once the teacher wants to collect the recording, we just press the homework button and then allow returning. And the student receiving homework window will be displayed automatically. And then let's drag the student icon and send it back to the teacher. And the file will be displayed in the folder after the transfer is complete. And we can check the recording on the tutor player. 你好，你好，早上好，早上好，谢谢，谢谢，再见，再见。
All right, so this first video is, just a quick preview of how you can operate the self-access activity. The audio prompt is very simple here, right? Just ask students to repeat the 4 words, but you can customize to any, audio prompt you might design that suitable for your own module, like, short Q&A. For example, how's the weather, right? What's your plan for the weekend? The students have to respond within, 1 minute, which is a great exercise for improve their fluency, and it's very hard to schedule usually in class. And for advanced level, you can ask them to talk 2 or 3 minutes about to voice their opinions about a statement within 2 or 3 minutes. So basically, you can just design any voice prompt, and then students have to record it by inserting their audio. So it will be a complete audio production. And in this self-access mode, they can record and replay themselves and then practice and send you the version that they are satisfied about. Okay. Some questions at the moment. Can we use the lab for regular contact teaching hours? Yes, of course. So I will be, at the end, we'll introduce how you book the lab and use it. Definitely, we want you to use the lab during your teaching slots. For large modules, you may just want to, touch base with your MC to organize it. And So the Sanako, this as you can see, the activities are really at its best effects when the teacher's input is involved, right? Teacher, you have to allow send the audio file to students, and you need to request students to do different activities. But the player can be installed on any Windows computer, and there's a web version. We're going to be talking about it. So for recording, students can do it anywhere, but really the lab we are promoting today is hope to enhance the in-class face-to-face teaching to make recording and fluency more efficient. Do Sanako only on lab? Oh yeah. Okay, I think it says submit recording. What the deal? So when you collect the recordings, allow returning, the recordings will be saved automatically on the teacher PC in this lab. So it will be in your teacher PC in FB459. Great. So this is self-access. And the next activity is called model imitation. So students must record the following teacher's pace and suitable for assessment and fluency development. So unlike the self-access one, students can replay what they recorded. If you choose model imitation, students will have to start at your request and finish at your request. Since the lab has 30 seats, so if you can just bring a cohort of 30 and do speaking assessment at the same time. So I'll play this video.
The next thing I want to introduce to you is the function of model imitation. This function can generally be used for exams or question and answers. For the media source here, we choose tutor. This way, the teachers can ask the students questions through your microphone. Once we click on Start, the teacher can start to ask the students questions through the microphone, and the students can also answer the teacher's question through the microphone. The student's audio will also be recorded in a recording after the exam. Now we click to start and ask questions. What's your name? Where are you from? How do you get to school on weekdays? At the same time, the students will hear the teacher's voice in their headphones. My name is Yitian.
Where are you from?
I'm from Suzhou.
How do you
Students can't operate the player except to answer questions with the microphone. Once the teacher wants to end this exam, we could choose the end, and then we choose to collect the student's audio. After the information transmission is completed, a window with student's audio will be displayed, and we could drag this file to the tutor player to check this audio.
What's your name?
My name is Yitian.
Where are you from?
I'm from Suzhou.
How do you get to school on weekdays?
I drive my car. So what's the difference between self-access and model imitation? In self-access mode, students can practice many times and upload their satisfactory recording to the teacher. And at the same time, you can also use the chat function or save function on the player. This mode is suitable for doing some classwork or self-practice. In model imitation mode, students can only speak through the microphone. They cannot operate on the student player. And the time for students to speak and the timing of recording are determined by the teacher. So model imitation is more suitable for exams.
All right. One more question. Let me quickly check it. Good. So Rick asked where does the content come from, right? So it could be live speaking from the tutor. It could be previously recorded prompts. It could be student generated or any video, or any audio or video file you found online. So yeah, it support all kinds of audio or video input. All right. So those two self-access and model imitation, we just showcased, demonstrate how students can interact of audio, right? And the next one is called discussion. Students can record their group discussions. So there will still be interactions using Sanako. So, but you can tell from the layout of this Sanako Lab, it's more about a traditional lecture format. Students are all facing up front. But the good side is it's optimal for assessment, and also like when students are recording themselves during discussion, they have to rely on their listening and speaking skills. There will be no more eye contact. Like you can allocate students by group that they sit next to each other, and you can just random allocate any students in group. So maybe a student A will be in group with student that sit at the far end. So they cannot use eye contact or body language. They have to communicate, solely rely on their listening and speaking, which is good sometimes to enhance those skills. So this video is going to show you how to operate the discussion activity.
The next thing to introduce is the discussion function. We find the discussion under the activity selection, and we choose the tutor as the media source. And we put all students in the section. And we choose a recording discussion function to collect the recordings later. And once we press start, tutor can assign topics to students directly through the microphone. For example, what do you think your life will be like in 10 years?
So, Joe, what do you think your life will be like in 10 years?
Oh, I think I'll be an astronaut.
An astronaut? Are you kidding?
No, I'm serious. I'll fly rockets to the moon. Maybe I'll also fly to other planets.
Oh, and where will you live?
I'll live on a space station.
As before, after clicking the end button, we can choose to collect the recordings of the topic. A file folder with a recording will automatically open after the end of the copy. And let's open the study tutor player, and we can review this recording on the tutor player. What do you think your life will be like in 10 years?
So, Joe, what do you think your life will be like in 10 years?
Oh, I think I'll be an astronaut.
An astronaut? Are you kidding?
No, I'm serious. I'll fly rockets to the moon. Maybe I'll also fly to other planets.
Oh, and where will you live?
I'll live on a space station.
Let's go back to the function menu. When the teacher chooses the recording method, there are two ways to choose. Before, we chose the record discussion. Its function is all recordings will be automatically saved after the discussion is over. The students cannot choose the timing or length of the recording. When we choose free mode, students can choose the time and the length of recording by themselves. After clicking the end button, the audio collected in the folder is recorded by the students themselves. So I recommend using free mode when you need to do some class assignments.
All right, more questions. Pei-Ling says, Yitian, your oral English is very good. Yes, yes, Yitian's English is very good. Joy said, sorry for missing the beginning. Is the lab only for speaking skills? I would say mostly speaking and listening. You can use it to do integrated skills, like give out a reading passage and student discuss about it. But for me, it's most efficient to enhance your speaking and listening skills. Because for other kind of exercise, you can easily organize in the regular classrooms, right? When and how can I try this out myself? Great, we will come to that very soon. Now, anytime now, Ivana. Yeah, we'd love to, to have you email and contact Yitian to try it out yourself and design all kinds of, new activities. All right. So okay, more questions. Awesome, you did great audience. Oh, thank you guys. So we just introduced the 3 activities, right? So self-access, model imitation, and discussion. So those, again, are most efficient for face-to-face classes that teachers will pre-design all those prompts and then have students interact with each other. The Sanako Player itself is actually also very useful. It can be used by students after teaching hours. So as you could tell just now, Sanako Player actually is a dual track player. This kind of player is also called the shadow player for, by other companies. By shadow player, it means it's both a recorder and a player, right? Students can play the audio and then insert their own recordings. So this allows students to listen to and record alongside a model speaker. And this will also be great if you want to give speaking audio feedback to a student's MP3 recordings. So students submit a recording, instead of typing, you can just insert your audio comments, right, using this Sanako Player. You can save as MFF format, which is only can be played within Sanako Player itself. It can also be saved as MP3 player, whether it's the the upper track or both track or the student track. So it's quite adaptable. But this player only works on Windows systems, and it's it can be a little bit slow if you use it outside our lab, because it requires connection sometimes. But we're gonna work on that. So it should work on all Windows systems. And for most students, if you only have like Mac system, you can use this online web recorder, recorder.sanako.com. Here you can see you can also open MP3 file and then add voice insert and then save as MP3. So since again my students won't be able to come on site next semester, I'm definitely going to use this Chrome recorder to have them record within a time limit or respond to my question, short and answer, and then submit the audio. And use this for giving audio feedback when you mark speaking coursework audios. Okay, that's listen only in the lab. Yeah, so just to remind students to save the format as MP3. So if it's MP3, they can listen on any devices. But if it's saved as MFF, which is the format that's only accessible in Sanako, they will have to have a laptop with Chrome recorder, so they can access feedback anytime. Only on Chrome, no Safari, no Firefox even, because I think some of who are familiar with recording browsers, a lot of those web recording only works on Chrome. All right. So hopefully you up till now you feel like you wanna, yeah, some of you have expressed you wanna use, right, the facilities. So what you can do is first book an appointment with Yitian prior to your teaching, because I think most of us haven't used this in real scenarios. So Yitian can recommend suitable activities for you and support your class during the sessions. So Yitian can come to your teaching sessions and support you and your students, especially for the beginning parts when your students and you are not familiar. So Yitian's email address is here, and his office is on 6th floor 666. And check the Language Lab Elmo page. So this H5P activity is there, and along with all kinds of other video tutorials and manuals are there. Use a facility, regularly. So if my students were on site next semester, this is how I'm gonna use the facility. So for teaching, I will bring my students here every other week, at least, to have enhanced listening and speaking sessions. And for assessment, since I think most of the class size is below 30, right? So, for some of the component of your speaking coursework that mostly focused on fluency and language itself, you can design it and students can record them simultaneously. So you don't need to design like two sets of questions. But for large modules, so you might have to again design a question bank. And for after class homework, I think the Chrome recorder works more efficient than the player itself. But of course, if you have a Windows system, you can either install the Sanako Player or use the Chrome recorder to ask students to record themselves and to mark your speaking coursework. And lastly, don't forget to share your activity design on Elmo. So on the Elmo page, you will see that under the resources, there will be a forum there that you can share your lesson plan using Sanako. So if it's worked really well, you just share this with the wider community, and we can make full use of the Sanako study software. And now we have some time for Yitian to demo the Sanako Player. And since Yitian is from here, he gonna use a demo this to teach you some Suzhou dialect.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yitian, the new technician of School of Language, and now I'm going to use this tutor player to make like Suzhou dialect testing or something. Okay, let's press the speak. I could speak something like 近在提吃哪哈近在提吃分哪哈也在老日子 After I have finished the speaking, I could review it first. Like 近在提吃哪哈近在提吃分哪哈也在老日子 Also, we could use this insert function to like add my voice soundtrack under every like gap of it. So let's press this, the play. We could listen to the sample first, like 近在提吃哪哈 and we press play again and to stop it. And we also could try to record something to copy it. Do you want to try? Okay. Like 近在提吃哪哈 And we keep playing it to hear to listen to the next one. 近在提吃分哪哈 Also, we could press the speak. 近在提吃分哪哈 And we press play again. 也在老日子 Speak again. 也在老日子 So it's a whole video, sorry, not video, the audio full of my soundtrack, the sample and the answer. We could review it
Like
now.
近在提示哪哈？like 近在提示哪哈？近在提示不哪哈？近在提示不哪哈？现在老日子，现在老日子。
So yes, it's the insert function of this tutor player. It's very easy to use, and you could also install it in your laptop or any Windows devices. Yeah, that's.
I think we have some time. Do you want to translate your teaching to English or Mandarin?
Oh yeah, the teaching thing was my Suzhou dialect was explained was how's the weather today? The weather's not really good, so it and it's raining now. So yeah, that's what just happened.
Thank you, Yitian.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So thank you, Yitian, for the demo. And again, this player can be used in class or after class on Windows. On Mac, you will need to use the web recorder, and you can design repeating exos, listen and repeat, or a short answer, or or marking. So very adaptable for different purpose. So now we still have some time. I will quickly show everyone the Language Lab Elmo page. Here you can find details, the official website of Sanako, how you can reach Yitian, the link of the Chrome recorder, this H5P presentation, which will be made available very soon. And here is the booking for the next semester. So starting from March 1st, all the booking slots are here. So basically from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m., right? If you request additional hours, you can just email Yitian. So book this a day in advance, and email Yitian in advance, like if you haven't used the lab before and how you want to use it, so you can get more prepared for the session. So we go back to the Language Lab page here. There's the forum I was talking about, that you can share your lesson plan, and the box link with a lot more video tutorials, manuals, and case studies in UK. And here, FAQ, if you have any questions, you can always email Yitian or just leave your questions here. So hopefully after today's session, you will think of ways to be able to use the Sanako study software in your teaching in the future. And lastly, we have a quiz. So attendees, can you turn on your annotation? Just leave a mark. It's a multiple choice question to see whether you get the gist of today's session. Can you just turn on your annotation and use any stamped or tick to pick what activities do Sanako support? Listen and repeat, listen and answer, group discussion, dual track insert, timed speaking recording. Can you just tick in the gray area that Sanako could do for your teaching? Great, I see a lot of LMLC, LK and ELC and tutors, lecturers have started responding. Okay, and meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And so Ansa has previewed the answer a little bit. A big tick, yes. Yes, thank you all. So so Sanako can do all of this, all of those listed activities, and I'm sure there will be more you will be able to design once you get your hands, with it. Thank you, everyone. Okay, So we have a lot of time, so feel free to ask your questions. And I just want to say, I think the school has been preparing for the launch of Sanako Lab since last December, right? It's great, finally, you know, the lab is here and it's ready for use with all of you. So yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave them here. And I will just use some applause and cheers to conclude our presentation today. And thank you all for the participation. It's been a year. There's a lot of unexpected issues with license and installation. So we wish it to launch it sooner, like at the beginning of this semester. So although it got delayed, but I think next semester school will benefit from this lab. Okay, thank you all. Any more questions? How many labs do we have so far? So good question. So we only purchased 30 student licenses. That, you know, for face-to-face teaching, the lab can support up to 30 teachers. But as long as you have a computer lab, you can use Sanako anywhere technically. So you can use on South Campus or any computer lab. But we only allows maximum 30 students simultaneously using the facility with the teacher. But however, for the you know, the player, the after hour recording, you know, students can do it anytime. Has any EAP lessons been delivered in Sanako English language lab? Well, not on XJTLU because it's a new lab, right? But school Department of English, they have been using the lab to teach interpreting and translation, you know, many years now. And it's actually Sanako Lab has been cooperating with many Chinese universities in China and globally. So it's being used for English and EAP lessons, but not specific EAP on XJTLU yet. So that's why, you know, I hope towards the end of next semester, we can do some kind of Sanako community of practices to see how you know, how school is using Sanako. Off campus. Okay, so it's called the Connect. It's slightly different from the lab, from the studies function I was introducing today, but we will be able to have test accounts for the Connect system, and Chinese modules will be able to piloting that this semester as well. So hopefully, yeah, as long as we have some, you know, resources, I will post that on this Elmo page as well. So I will let you know, Joy, by then. How would everyone not be coding if they were, okay, good. So Rick is asking, how would everyone not be talking over each other, right? Because the recording only pick up what's going through the microphone, right? So this is quite a hardcore headset. If you put it on and with the partitions on the table, it's really hard to hear, you know, what's next to you, at least from the recordings. So the students will only, in the group discussion, the students will only be able to pick up the sound from what's coming through to their headphone, which is in group discussion, the sound from their group. So everyone, you know, can hear different, every group can hear different group recordings through their headset. So it's not being talked over. Great. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, 40 participants. And thanks Yitian for all the preparation work so far. And hopefully, yeah, we will see more exciting research and lesson plans about Sanako in the coming semester. Okay, if there's no questions, feel free to, yeah, to leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Fantastic job.